Hello, this is MASR Gunzer here with the alternative history mod World of DGF. This mod takes place in an alternative history where Ethiopia westernized and became a world power. This mod is pretty much my save from EU3 converted into a V2 mod. I'm going to go into more detail though of the history. The reason I'm releasing this mod is because I thought of the idea to make a YouTube video series where I play games from Crusader Kings all the way up to maybe Hearts of Iron, probably to V2. And I decided I like to see alternative histories play out, and I know alternative history mods are rather popular, so I decided to play these games through, and every time I convert them over to EU3 and V2 to release these mods for you guys to play on your own and see how worlds can change differently with these new different maps. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to show you what happened with my world of DGF. So, World of DGF, I played Ethiopia in EU3. I conquered all this land right here in East Africa, up to Egypt and Jerusalem. I also owned India, and these two islands in Indonesia, well, this island in Indonesia and this piece of land. I also have Oceania, and I also have this part right down here. So those two. The other world powers at the time are England, Burgundy, Bavaria, Poland, Ryazan, Spain, Latvia, Hesse-Darmstadt, Switzerland, Ottoman Empire, and Norway. So this is what Europe looks like. Alright. We have Lithuania, who got all snaky. I really hate how they look. However, that's what they look like in EU3, so I kept them in. We also have Latvia, who did rather well, which is originally Riga. Germany is split into pretty much East and West Germany because the Holy Roman Empire in EU3 was split between Bavaria and Hesse. Austria never really gained power in the Holy Roman Empire. That's why they're quite small and divided in they have Tyrol and also Slovenia that broke away from them. So they never really gained too much traction. England, they formed these with Scotland and Wales and England. However, Ireland never became part of the United Kingdom. They were able to form on their own and never really get into many wars with England because England in the whole EU3 they were divided into civil wars every couple years and never gained too much traction, and they ended up just leaving Ireland alone, which is pretty interesting. Then England also owns North Normandy. England was split also into civil wars and was eventually just conquered by Burgundy. Brittany, Foix, Navarra, Dauphine, and a few others all escaped and were able to create little tiny states. Spain pretty much is Iberia, besides Lisboa, which is Portugal, as well as these islands, which are Catalan. Pretty much Italy, same deals in real life. They were just a bunch of warring states, or just a bunch of states. Not much happened here. Ireland also owns these two, Albania and Serbia, who are also reformed religion. The main religions actually in this world in order are Catholic is the #1 religion, followed by Sunni, then Confucianism / Mahayana Buddhism, Orthodox, Hindu, Shia, Theravada, Shinto, Reformed, and Protestant. Protestants never really gained too much traction in my game because of a good reformation, I guess. There was maybe 1 or 2 small states that became Protestant, and then Ireland was one of the only few reformed nations. So that ended up being pretty interesting. Let's see. Middle East looks like this. Persia owns a bit of Arabia, and Turkey owns all of this area. We also have Brits down here in Yemen. We got a bunch of different types of Europeans in here: Spain, Poland, Bavaria, England, and Lisboa, Portugal, as well as Poland also owns the Maldives, and I own this chunk right here I showed you before. China is split between the Manchu, the Guangxi clique, and China. Then I added in EU3 a few Siberian people, such as Khakassia, Buryatia, Yakutia, Yukigir, Chukotka, Koryak, and Lamutsia. Well, they ended up surviving, which I did not expect. I expected them to be trampled, but Russia never formed, so they never really got too far east. So they're here to be taken over, pretty much filling in that gap so people just don't randomly colonize it, as well as Himalaya, because usually like Norway or Sweden colonizes it and it looks ugly. So I'd rather them be conquered by Russia or something. You guys can try and play as Himalaya. If you guys can conquer the world as Himalaya, I'll give you a cookie. Also, this is a Komi nation that was never conquered for some reason, so I left them in. Norway is very close to forming Scandinavia. They're missing Jämtland, Stockholm, Copenhagen, and Finland. Also, the Sami people. They own also Iceland, so that's cool. Poland doing well. Bosnia and Herzegovina also doing strangely well. Bulgaria is doing, I think, pretty well for Bulgaria. I mean, it's not Turkey, so I mean that's a thing. But they are Sunni. And then there's Wallachia. Spain owns this. Let's see, we'll go down to Africa. We got England right here, Poland, Bavarian, Benin, who is civilized because while I was Ethiopia, I released them from Burgundian control. And I thought, well, if I'm African, they're African. I think in real life we would share technology, so I gave them civilized. This was originally all Dutch, but then the British took it over, so I thought kind of similar to real life, so I left all of the Boers and the Zulu here. We got, let's see, Indonesia is split between Latvia and Norway. And then the Philippines is Philippines, Japan, Burgundy, and Latvia, as well as I think that's England. Yeah, England. Let's see, we'll go to the Americas, and I'll show you all the nations that formed over here. So like I said, this Greenland is owned by England. Now New Ireland, formed by Ireland, Irish colonies. They do pretty well actually in the games, which is pretty cool. They usually get a lot of immigrants. Vinland, they were a Norwegian colony, and of course named Vinland because everyone knows Vinland. And if you guys can think of better names for some of these countries that I made up names for, be sure to tell me, because some of the names were just pulled out of nowhere. And also, I don't know how to say some of them. They are from the language of their origin country. However, I'm not fluent in Polish or Lithuanian, so if I say something wrong, I'm sorry. Acadie, which is a French colony. Atovia is a Spanish colony. Rodi is a Italian colony. Rajikland is a Dutch colony. They're pretty much what takes place of the USA in this game. They usually become like one of the world powers. They usually do pretty well. Nizhyn is a Polish colony. Colombian is a German colony. They are Bavarian. Terra Serpentia is an Italian colony. I give the name Terra Serpentia because it's the land of the snakes. I think that's what the Aztecs called it. So I gave them the similar name, but I made it Italian. So Terra Serpentia. All their flags have snakes on them. I think it's kind of cool. But if you guys can think of a better name that's not so long, or or make that sound better, be sure to tell me. Empire Mexico. Mexico was conquered by the Spanish, so it stayed Mexico. However, the Aztecs survived. They were never truly conquered at all, so I left them in, and I gave them a democracy setting because they were a tribal democracy. It's close enough. Also, this was Spanish, so it stayed the same. Then the Caribbean is split between Brits, the Italians, the Spanish, and the French, and the Germans. So we got Cumbria right here, or Cuba in real life, Cumbria in the game. Tovar was German, these islands, as well as this one. We got Giamasia, which is owned by Naples, but a Jamaican type of nation, Giamasia, can be formed. Right here, these islands can be formed into a nation. Tres Isles, I think. I don't know how to say it. It's 3 islands in French. Then right here, we have all these islands. We don't really need to get the detail on that. Côte Riche is a French colony. And then Venezuela is also a French colony. Lithuania in South America. A nation here can be formed called Upazim. And yeah, they pretty much got that late in the game, but it's kind of weird, Lithuania in South America, but hey, I don't make up the rules. Grand Para. This is a Spanish nation. Banqui Bazar, German nation. Aurelia, French. Patagonia was British. Bolivia, Spanish. And Limac, also British. Let's see, I think that's everywhere in the world. Let's just do a skim. Yeah, okay, so that's everybody. So if you guys are interested in my idea that I gave out earlier with the Crusader Kings to Hearts of Iron, be sure to visit this YouTube channel, and I'll release more mods like this. And hopefully you download this or something.